Hello, SAP Partners. Margaret Anderson here. I'm the Senior Vice President for the Partner Delivery Management team here in Enterprise Cloud Services. I'm here today to talk to you about Rise with SAP and the new S4HANA Cloud Private Edition Jam site that we've set up for you to help you through the process of executing a brownfield migration. Why is this important? As you know, many of our customers start their projects with I'm on-premise and I need to move into the cloud. What's the best way to get them from point A to point B? A brownfield migration. And we have created a new method for you to be able to do this process and granting you some extra privileges as well. So we want to share with you how to do it and what you need to know in order to be able to help your customer project be successful. So I'm going to go to the Jam site that we've set up for this purpose, and I'm going to show you what it is and how it works so that you now can look into it and say, ah, yes, this is the information that I need. Okay, so what I'm displaying here on this screen is the actual Jam site. You'll be able to get access to this Jam site when you complete your web assessment and this webinar that you're now attending. And here is how you come. If you'd like to get access to the site, send us an email to pce.moderator@sap.com and give us the following information: your name, your organization's name, your S user ID, and your email address. Once you give us that information and you've been cleared from the program itself, we will send you access to the site. The other thing I want to let you know is that if you have some additional colleagues in your organization that need access here because they're going to help you on the endeavor of doing the brownfield migration, we recommend that you also follow the same process. You have to request access so that they can come into the site. And we're asking that you act as the SPOC, the single point of contact for additional questions from fellow teammates, or else ask them simply to attend the training session. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, what's here in the Jam site itself and why did we set it up? Okay, many of you realize that brownfield migration is indeed a process that you need to know more about. So we set up the directions, how to work with our SAP colleagues, and we provided places for you to find out other information. So for instance, what is the S4HANA PCE roles and responsibilities document? It's attached here. What are the RACI and the governance processes and procedures that we're working to set up between your teams and my team? That way, if you need some additional help, you have some other problems, you've noticed a trend you want to tell us about, the governance process allows for that to take place. We know that many of you have questions, so we've created an Ask a Question section. And in a moment, you'll see that we already have Q&A out there, so that feel free, if you've got a new question that you don't already see there, to come back and ask us that question. We have people on standby to answer them. But remember, this is not the help desk. This is not for trouble tickets. These are for questions about the process before you start the process. And after a while, we're going to group these questions into a set of FAQs so that the most frequently asked questions will be at the top, and we'll set it up by topic so that you don't have to scroll through all of the questions to find your answer. And finally, we always welcome your feedback. So we've created a little area that says, give us feedback. Tell us how this can be more useful to you. Okay, so let's just start over here with the brownfield migration topic. There is a whole set of processes and procedures, and we've documented it, we've set it up so you can understand what you need to do. And these are the typical phases that you'll find in any brownfield migration process, whether you use your own methodology, SAP's methodology, or you're using how the customer would like to run their project. So we've set it all up. You can scroll through the information here and you can find out where you last and where you fit into this project. Of course, we realize there might be some additional information that you need. So for instance, how might you connect to our SAP Cloud? What kind of storage is required to do these migrations? What's a migration server? What are some of the mandatory post-processing steps that our SAP team needs to execute, in which maybe if they find an issue, they're going to need to come back to you with that issue? And then finally, how is it all finished and concluded so that it's ready and available to be turned over to the customer? So I urge you to go through these different areas to familiarize yourself with these processes and procedures and make sure you understand how to be successful at conducting a brownfield migration for your customer. Now, I know you're asking the question, what is this roles and responsibilities? What's this RACI? What's this governance process? We have found that as a partner, you might need to meet with us occasionally to talk to us about some of your experiences with these customer projects. Maybe you're doing your first project, it goes well. Maybe you've sold your second, third, or fourth project, and now you'd like to talk to us about how you can manage this better, how you can become more efficient at it. So we have a governance process set up, and you'll expect to get invitations from us to join some of those meetings in the future. And then we also said, you know, sometimes it's super important to understand what do you do and what do we do. So the roles and accountabilities document here describes what you need to do in order to help make this process successful, what do we need to do as SAP, and it also reminds you that if you're doing this on behalf of the customer expects you to take the full load of the work that needs to be done. Okay, you might notice that the FAQ section at the moment is kind of empty. That's because we only have a sample set of questions so far that people have asked us. And I'll scroll through these and you'll see that technical experts have asked us, you know, what happens when this goes over here? What happens if the customer is doing something? What about creating the tenant? How do you use DMO? What kind of infrastructure? So there are various topics that have already been discussed and they're posted here with the answers. However, if you find a new question that is not answered here, feel free to post another one and we'll get back to you and give you some information about that. We do plan to do some webinars in the future based on our learnings of your experiences with doing the brownfield migration process. When these webinars have been recorded, we will store them here so that you can use them for additional learning opportunity. And finally, if you do have feedback, we definitely recommend that you click on the feedback tab, click on the give feedback, and that will open up a little comment section so that you can ask us or tell us what you like about our website, our JAM site, tell us what you think that we should improve. And I think the most important thing is that we tried our very best to make sure that we provided you with all of the right information so that you can execute a successful brownfield migration. Finally, just want to remind you again, how do you access our JAM site? Send an email to pce.moderator@sap.com. Give us your name, your organization's name, your S-user ID, and your email ID, and we will go ahead and grant you access to the site. So with that, I'd like to say thank you for spending a few minutes with me, and I hope that as you move forward into the future that you understand that our customers are important to all of us. You, as our partner, are also an important component of this process. We look forward to working with you. Good luck with executing the brownfield migrations.